Hi guys, this is Nanasai from Momo Hates You. There was a lot to cover these past couple of weeks, but we finally reached the main event. Everyone loves a good pavilion pulling video, but before we get to that, let's review this Hell event format and mechanics. This Hell event features 5 pavilions, one for each of the 4 main suits and one for all the minor suits and the Live 2D suit SSR pieces. Each pavilion pull costs 100 diamonds and you're guaranteed a new item every 10 pulls. As you can see, Bobo's pavilion is locked and requires you to pull on all the other pavilions. You don't need to complete the other main suits to unlock Bobo's, but you do need to at least pull 31 times in each of the other 3 pavilions. The main pavilions cost on average 3,000 to 4,000 diamonds each to complete the suit. Completing all the main suits costs a total average of 13,800 diamonds. However, these are only estimates. Since the event started, players have shared their experience with the pavilions, and while a few came under budget, quite a few wound up spending 5,000 to 6,000 diamonds on one suit alone. So it really does depend on your own RNG. Our last pavilion is the Wish Bottle, which you can find in the upper right corner of the pavilion page. Now you can't pull directly from this pavilion. Instead, every 8 pulls or 800 diamonds spent in any of the 4 main pavilions, you'll receive 1 pull in the side pavilion. The minor suits drop at the predetermined order, and you'll need to pull 3 times at most to be guaranteed either a full minor suit, a minor suit recolor, or a SSR item from the Live 2D suit. If you want to complete this side pavilion, it will cost you a maximum of 32 pulls, which translates to 25,600 diamonds. As of yet, this event hasn't returned to any server, so we still don't know the return cost. What we do know is that your progress in this event will be saved, and Hell events tend to return after 8 to 12 months, which gives you ample time to prepare. As always, all information is courtesy of our resident wizards over at the Love Nikki Sheets group. To help you manage your resources and get accurate item drop rates, there's the Cloud Dream crowdsourcing sheet. For any doubts you might have about the mechanics of this event, there's the in-depth event guide. You can find both of the links in the description below. Alright, explanation time over. Time to pull and get our suits. I'm not planning on finishing the Hell event this time around. I'd rather wait until it returns, but I am planning on finishing 2 pavilions, Kimi's and Ace's. So far, I used my 2 free tries that we received in the mail in Kimi's pavilion. I received the lion and the unposed version of her hair. So let's see how well I do today. As you just saw, I completed the unposed version of Kimi's suit, and as a reward, I received the posed version of the suit and the background. However, I'm still missing one item from the posed version, which is Fire Rain, the same chandeliers from the unposed version, but spread a bit wider, to accommodate the lion, I imagine. And these aren't the only items that don't appear in the imposed version. There are items from Lunar, such as the group of flying fishes, Ace's Knights, and pretty much all of Bobo's accessories that don't necessarily appear as a completion reward or when you complete the imposed version of the suit. So if you complete the suit but don't have all the items you want, you might have to keep pulling. So right now I'm not going to keep pulling on Kimi's Pavilion. I already have a pair of high lamps. I'm good. I'm happy with how much I spent on the pavilion. And there's still a few days left, so I might return and use my window flowers to trade for karma stars. So I'm just going to go ahead and move on to Ace's Pavilion. When I was working on my current avatar, I couldn't help think that Ace's hair would look very nicely on my Nikki, so I tried my luck and did a couple of pulls in her pavilion. So I'm starting with 2 items already, her unposed version of the hair and her coat. Despite the fact that I still have one post item to pull from Kimi's Pavilion, I think I did what I set out to do today in this video, and the balance is a positive one. For Kimi's Pavilion, today I did 2000 diamonds worth of tries, and because I did use my free tries previously, and I think I also used 100 diamond worth of tries. Yes, I think I did that. So that means I spent for Kimi 1,900 diamonds, which I did not expect at all. So that was a pleasant surprise overall. For Ace's Pavilion, on the other hand, besides the 4,000 diamonds worth of tries I did today, I also did 2 tries previously, so I spent 4,660 diamonds, which means I spent in total 6,760 diamonds. Considering that the average total for both suits is around 6,400 diamonds, that's not bad. It didn't feel as good when I was pulling all the dupes, but that's not bad. And I'm still not done. As you may have noticed, I still haven't pulled from the wish bottle. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now and see what I have. Let's see what I'm pulling. And I'm not going to pull anymore, at least for now. So let's take a look at the suits in all of their glory in the view mode. We're starting with Kimi's imposed version of her suit, since her pavilion was my favorite from this hell event. Before we go to the suit, I would just like to express my love for these high lamps. They are so ornate, so lifelike, if that makes any sense. They have beautiful details like the pendants and the carved lions to the real flames, and I just adore them, even more so than the high lamps from the Rose Palace Pavilion, if anyone remembers that one. For the dress itself, I can see just how it became a fan favorite over at the Shiny server. It's beautifully detailed with the golden feathers, the lace with gold accents, the bodice which is covered in gold, the sheerness from the cloak, and it's gorgeous. It really is, and I'm sure it's going to be a favorite over in our server. Now for the posed version of the dress. As expected, Kimi's posed version is as grand as the previews showed it. This is a really nice pose, which I'm sure the players will have a lot of fun with. But the hair is it isn't as versatile as it could be, since most of the dresses tend to flow in the opposite direction. So that might be an issue. That being said, one thing I didn't really take notice is the lion. Now I love this lion, but I didn't realize just how big, how massive it really is. Even in the view mode and at 100%, you can't really see it in all of its glory, and you need to resize it really down to see it fully. So it really is a big item. But funnily enough, this isn't my favorite item. My favorite item is actually the background. The background is just so grand. I absolutely love this one. It has to be actually one of my favorite backgrounds of all time. It's glossy and shiny, and the beautiful color palettes. I'm sure this is going to be my go-to background after this hell event. Now we have Ace's imposed version of her suit. As you can see, it's also a very big suit with very big pieces. The cape flows far past the screen, as does her hair, and the dress around the hips, which falls almost like a beautiful petal. And I think one of the things that drew me to this suit is the palette. The blues, the whites, the silver, and the purple. It's a beautiful suit overall. Lastly, we have Ace's posed version of her suit, which is also massive. And as you can see, it's one straight line from the tip of the shoes to the tip of her sword, unless you do a couple of things that a few YouTubers and players have noted. If you use the post version of her hair without the accessory, it will tilt. If on the other hand you keep the hair accessory but change the hair, it will also tilt. So if you want this version of Aces completely straight, you have to keep the hair and the hair accessory. Now for her accessories. Let's see this. Now these are beautiful. They're sheer. They're all sheer, but they're so fun. Of course, Ace would have knights as her accessories. It makes complete sense. And this little spirit, which I haven't really figured out what it is, but I know it's going to be something players love if past entries that I've seen in Starry Corridor are any indication. There's a lot to do with these items. And we also have received this background with constellations, which is a good background. And again, I can see a lot of use for it in Starry Corridor. And with that, we've reached the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed pulling the pavilions with me, and if you didn't have the chance to pull yourselves, I wish you all the best RNG and that you don't go too over budget with your diamonds. If you like this video, drop a like, and if you'd like to see more from Momo Hates You, please subscribe. See you next time.